Hello, this is HK Training Center. In this time, let's find out microjoint, which is one of most important machining technique. Let's find out what it is, when to use, pros and cons of microjoint. Let's start how to apply microjoint first. Why microjoint should be used. As you can see, here is dried squid in the picture. Material is hard and stiff, which also can be easily twisted and deformed by heat like dried squid. The small part on the side can fall between grid. So use microjoint to attach small part or prohibit heat deformation. In other words, we call this joint. As shown in picture, these parts should be attached by microjoint. 1. Thin and long part that need to minimize heat deformation. 2. Small part to prohibit loss. 3. Part might cause head collision. As shown in picture, if part is small, use one joint in the end of lead-in and multiple joints for long and large part. In case of using both inside and outside, using microjoint without lead-in, which start piercing next starting point. This kind of microjoint is applied when using common cut, or two parts are too closed. Especially using microjoint in curve may cause air in fiber machine. Like this, pros of using microjoint is prohibit loss, prohibit collision, minimize heat deformation, and cons is more work time due to more piercing. Low quality of joint when separate, because joint is uncut part. Next, let's find out how to apply microjoint. To apply microjoint in general, use microjoint function in Technology tab of Drawing or Nesting and Machining screen. To apply multiple microjoints, input in Drawing screen. Let's find out detailed functions of microjoint in Drawing or Nesting and Machining screen first. Microjoint is in Technology tab that both Drawing and Nesting and Machining screen. Later than version 40 will show setting window on right. And width value of microjoint is S, which normally sets 0.3 to 0.8. There are several kinds of microjoint, or divided into stick to corner and middle of line. Normally microjoint type 3, which can set middle of line. This is used before machining when applying multiple microjoints, or shape that must be attached. Let me show you how to apply in program. Next, microjoint that applied in end of lead-in is used many times to prohibit fall by applying only one in small shape. To change setting before and after machining, go to Contour Attributes in Machining tab and select desired contour to open window. In there, click Microjoint at the end of contour and input width of microjoint. It can be applied and deleted altogether, even after machining. Let's use in program. Next is how to apply microjoint without lead-in that can apply in nesting and machining screen. Go to Modify in Machining tab. To apply microjoint. Microjoint in Modify can be applied to input width and select position in middle or pick point and is not recommended. This microjoint is applied without lead-in, so it will start piercing at the start point of next part. So, this is recommended to use when trying to attach microjoint in common cut line. For customers who are using our fiber machine, using microjoint without lead-in in ARC will cause code error and cutting failure, so please be aware about it. As shown in image, this is case of cutting failure by using microjoint without lead-in in ARC. For ARCs, please use two things that I told you earlier. Then let's apply with program. Besides this, our machine can apply microjoint. The function name is microalb, which can apply altogether by setting limit of maximum and minimum contour size to avoid head collision, like this. There are many ways to apply microjoint, that means mostly applied technique when cutting. So please know these functions well. Thank you.